So I found this and I thought it was interesting. I've seen this frequently. I just thought I would, read what was posted here. So the person said I posted a not a fan review on Goodreads and didn't tag the author. It wasn't a good review, but it wasn't mean, and the author commented on it, and it's making me feel a certain way, like I shouldn't have posted the review. And so this one person's responded and said, nope, you're good. If the author is going out of their way to read Goodreads reviews, they need to be prepared for the negative along with the positive. Curious what the comment entailed. So she's like, I wasn't a big fan of some of the lore within the world. It was explained it to me. It was monster smut. And so she's like, that's pretty weird behavior, to be honest. Laugh out loud. Authors need to know their books won't land with every single person. Can't go around trying to explain or convince people otherwise. And so she's like, and as a firm believer to not tag authors in negative reviews, I usually only post them on Goodreads even. It was slightly alarming to get that notification. And so person's like, authors should not be on Goodreads to begin with. Yes. Leave the review, ignore the author, and also slip me a name because there's a list of authors who attack readers on Goodreads, and that name belongs there. So she's like, I don't think attack is the right word, and it doesn't warrant being in the list. I'm just in my feels and wasn't expecting to feel corrected on a review by an author. Ugh. And so this person's like, but that's the thing. Your feelings are valid, and that author has no right to correct your reading experience. It's bad form. The only time I'm okay with authors reaching out to reviewers like that is if an issue was addressed, like missing trigger warning, and the author corrected it. It's okay to be in your feels, and I'm sorry an author crossed the line. So this other person's like, I noticed they're responding to every review. That gives a mega ick, and I hope one of their friends helps them understand why that's a no-no. You're not at all in the wrong. Sorry you had to deal with that awkwardness. She goes, oh no, yeah, I hope someone reins them in. Another person's like, if they are a brand new author, they may not realize that this isn't a good way to interact with readers. Yep. Authors love to talk to readers about books, but hopefully they will realize Goodreads is not the way. For some reason, Goodreads sometimes sends me an email when I get reviews, and it can be confusing as it looks like a request for engagement. Oh, okay, that's interesting. She goes, yeah, I think that could be it. I hope someone helps guide them on their author journey, but it should definitely be another author. And she's like, another person's like, I generally think authors should stay off Goodreads, but I thought her reply to you was funny. Seems like she's just trying to interact with readers and maybe doesn't know a better way. And so the person's like, I think this could be it too. And I'm possibly just in my feelings because I want to interact with authors, but also have a place for reviews. That is not okay. Goodreads is a reader space, and authors need to either stay off of it if they can't handle themselves or stay silent. It's not appropriate to respond like this to reviews. Yes, I will say, like, even if an author was okay with the review and they wanted to respond in the comment, no, because there are people who they take it as like, they take it as not a form of harassment, but like it's almost like an intimidation factor where now you feel intimidated because this author responded to you, and now it's like every book you read after that for the author, you're like, oh, I didn't like this book, but do I still give it 4 or 5 stars because this author interacted with me before? And this is what I don't like. This is my, like maybe kryptonite. I guess maybe that's the term I want to use, but this is the thing that makes me awkward is like, I can go and say like, oh, I like that actor. But if I actually met that actor, I'm going to be an awkward fucking weirdo. It's going to be a very weird experience. And I don't think I'm going to want to like associate or talk to an author again after that experience, because I know how I am. It's not a good place for me to be. I feel very uncomfortable. I feel very intimidated. And I don't like it. I don't like it. This is why we say like, Authors stay out of reader spaces because when you interact with a reader, it can be a very weird experience, you know? Even if you're like, you are on good terms with this person, it can be weird because now this person's like, oh, I become friends with this author. I can't give them a bad review now because I'm going to make them mad and they're not going to like me anymore. So that's the way I kind of think about it. So that's why I'm like, no, authors, please stay out of reader spaces because it's not a good space. Like, you know, I don't think readers should go into author spaces and give authors advice because that's a fucking reader. The only advice authors should be getting is from other authors, other people who are in their demographic, in their job title. You know, that's who you should be getting the advice from. It's not the readers, but the other authors who are going to like collaborate with you and help you out with anything that maybe you need. Maybe you're having trouble with a story idea, and so you talk to another author who might help you with your story idea. You know, you don't go to a reader, you know, it's they're different roles. And so when you go and you intermingle, it's not always great, you know? So this person's like, if an author can't take it, that's on them. My advice to authors with rejection sensitivity like me is don't read reviews. And if you do happen to stumble upon a bad one, for the love of pancakes, do not engage. I love that. For the love of pancakes. That's so funny. I love that. I'll definitely check out this author though, because I like the way she said that. For the love of pancakes, do not engage. And so this person's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. And so another person's like, as an author myself, we really, really need to stay out of reader spaces. Yes. If I go into the review of my work and start reading them, I need to be prepared to see negative reviews and not reply to them. It's not my place. I'm not going to please every reader. You leaving a negative review is entirely valid. The author shouldn't have commented. I will say, like, if you are an author and this person who read the book didn't understand the world building or whatever it is, instead of going into that person's comment and responding to maybe like help them out a little bit more with like maybe like the world building, instead what you can do is you can make a post, like say if you post on Facebook or whatever it is, as an author, you could post on Facebook and say, hey, I've been seeing some readers have been saying that they're not understanding the world building. Let me go and explain it to you a little bit more. Do it that way to where everybody sees it, not just this one particular person, you know? That way everybody sees it, because there might be other people who might be in the same boat as that reviewer and not understand the world building, but they're not going to say anything because they're like, you know, it just, you know, some people feel weird about it, you know? So I think it's better to do that. Or say if the majority of your audience is on TikTok, do a TikTok for it, you know, and explain it. Majority of your audience is on Instagram, do an Instagram reel or do an Instagram post and then you pin it. And then that way people can read through it and be like, oh, okay, that kind of thing, you know? But also I would say, like, as an author, you need to take in that, like, constructive criticism, you know, if maybe you didn't get it explained more, you know? Like, I could say you talk to another author and say, well, some of my readers are saying, like, I didn't do enough world building or they didn't understand, you know, what can I do here? And then hear that author and suggest what they're telling you and kind of go from there, because then it's like you're helping out yourself as the author to help build up that audience, you know, and help with that engagement with your readers. But it also sorry about that. So it says the author is in the wrong. She came into a review space and hurt her own feelings. That's on her. You wrote an honest review. That's what you're supposed to do. So another person who's an author said, you were excellent for not tagging, but know that you get to have an opinion. You get to express it. There is nothing wrong with what you did. If the author of any book you review seeks out comments, that's on them. They also should be allowing you your space as a reader, and replying to you is violating a boundary. Personally, I don't like to be tagged either for good or bad, but I also don't read any comments, reviews. That space is for readers, not me. Please keep reading and reviewing books. So another person's like, my understanding of Goodreads is that it's for readers, not authors. You posted your opinion and they chose to read it. If they didn't like it, it's on them, not you. Another person's like, nope, the author shouldn't be there. Goodreads reviews are for readers. They are not for authors, and most authors will even say this. We can't control them reading reviews, but they should not be interacting with negative reviews, or really any. I know it feels weird, and I understand feeling like you shouldn't have, but you are in the right here. You have every right. She didn't do right. Every right to leave a review of any kind if you read the book. So I had commented and I said the author should have never commented. Goodreads is for other readers and not authors. Amazon used to have a reply button to reviews, and an author responded to my review once on there. It was an interesting experience, to say the least. I said, this is why I wish Goodreads would take off the comment section under reviews. I said, it gets abused too much, and we, the reviewers, get bullied for writing down our opinions on a book. Let's see. Was there any more that I had? I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. And then there's other stuff I want to talk about in other other videos. But yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to talk about, was this here. It's, I see people who, some people will say like, oh, I don't think I want to do reviews if I'm going to get attacked from my review or anything like that. And same thing with like, when it comes to the author, it's like, no, you should really like not engage with, don't engage with that review. Like there was an author that I read, and she had gave my review a like. That's fine, but it's still kind of like, you probably shouldn't do that. It's better to not engage at all, because then it can get complicated for the author and for the reader. So I think it's a better relationship when you separate the two and you have the two in their own spaces. Authors are in their author spaces, readers are in the reader spaces. We don't come together, because when we do come together, we're fighting with each other. I've seen authors fighting with their own fan base, and that's not good. It's not good. Or readers getting too nasty with authors, and authors having to respond to protect themselves, to defend themselves, so that's not good either. So I think there's a way of doing it to where we both have that, symbiotic relationship where, we're reading the books, we're reviewing them, we're giving our opinions on what we thought about it, and then there's authors in their author spaces doing whatever. And if they end up coming across like a bad review because they were tagged in it, they have a right to say, hey, please don't tag me in negative reviews. So, for me, I'm like, probably better to just not engage with any of the comments or any reviews you get that are for your book. Probably better to do it that way. So yeah, anyways, I didn't want this to be a long video, but what do you think? Do you think that this person was in the wrong for doing it? Even if it wasn't like they weren't saying anything negative, because she said they weren't saying anything negative, but it's like, do you think it's wrong for that person, that author, to comment and explain a little bit more? Or do you think it's okay for them to do that, but yeah, let me know down below what you think. But yeah, that's it for this video here. Have yourselves a good day. Take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and I'll see you all on the next video. All right, bye.